Hey, Shaq. Obviously, as a defense, you guys rushed the passer really well. I mean, the 5 sacks last week, right? What are teams doing specifically to you to try to take you out of their game plan? And do you have to kind of resist trying to do too much instead of just, those guys get the one-on-ones and they win?
I don't think it was anything too different last week. I had a couple opportunities I should have got there. I didn't get there. I don't think it was just me. I just got to just worry about my rush plans instead of doing like my go-to moves. I got to set stuff up, and that's like what I feel as though I haven't been doing. So I just got to just get back to just setting moves up and working moves because I do have all game. I don't have to rush and try to do too much like in the first quarter, second quarter.
And going back to Denver, I mean, this is a place that you spent a lot of time. What do you imagine it'll be like now, walking into that stadium with what you've accomplished?
It's going to feel good to go back there, trying to get another win. That's the most important thing, to come out as a winner, be 2-1, so we could be on the right page for setting us up for the rest of the season. But it's going to, I just want to show them that they did had a chance to have me and they let me go. But I'm happy with my situation down here. I love it. It's literally just the best plan that could have ever happened and worked out.
Thanks.
All right, next we're going to have Jenna Lane.
Yeah, along those lines, Shaq, you return as a guy that had 19 and a half sacks last year. You led the NFL there. You made the Pro Bowl. So much of your life is coming together. But you've said before, when you were back in Denver, you were still learning a lot of things. So can you just kind of take us through who you were then and kind of compare that to who you are now?
So back then, I just was comfortable doing the moves I knew. I wasn't really trying to learn any moves because I was scared to do them and scared of failing because nobody want to do a move and get stuffed or look bad out there. But as time progressed, I started kept watching Von D-Ware, and I'm on a scout team, practice squad, so I'm up there going against the first tackle. So I just start working on my get off, just gaining confidence slowly but surely to actually go out and do it in a game. And it was just the repetitions and practice that I got the confidence. So I actually think, practice squad helped me out a lot to be able to build the confidence to go out there and just trust myself and trust my keys to go out there to make plays and have a great get off and not be scared to jump off sides every once in a while.
Getting past the idea of fear of failure, you don't hear about that a whole lot. How long did it kind of take you to get to that point where you weren't afraid of failure anymore? And like now, for instance, you've talked about it just a couple weeks ago, like you're working on new pass rush moves now, right? You're putting yourself out there a lot more. How long did it take you to get to that point? And really, what was it that got you to that point?
Just seeing that the moves do work, watching film on a lot of the other outside linebackers, DNs, and seeing how they do it, trying to do my version of it. But you can't be a one-trick pony out there, so you have to adapt, adjust, and try to figure out the best moves possible to work. And I still got moves that I would do, but I don't have as much faith in it, so I won't do it as much. So you still just got to keep working it in practice and just repetition so you could get comfortable with doing it and making it second nature. Because I am working on stuff still, but I'm still a little hesitant to put it out there right now. But I'm going to have to do it because it do work as long as I do it properly, do it the right way.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, next we're going to have Greg Allman.
Hey, Shaq. Well, with going back to Denver, I know the coaching staff there has changed. A lot of the personnel on the field has changed. Vaughn obviously is hurt and coming off surgery. I just want to ask you, I guess, who the individual players are you're most looking forward to seeing maybe before the game, before it gets time for business.
You said, it's a lot of people who gone. But on defense, probably Chubb, Shelby, Justin Simmons, pretty much whoever on the team that I was on the team with, we all pretty good buddies. So looking forward to saying what's up to all of them. But that's probably about it because it's a totally different team now.
Shaq, going back a year and a half ago when you were going into free agency, it seemed like Denver wasn't even really in play for you just because they couldn't really give you the opportunity for a bigger role than what you knew you had there, right?
Oh, yeah, and it wasn't that I didn't even want to stay in Denver no more after, my last 2 years there. I felt as though like, yeah, it was a 0% chance to start. They wasn't even giving me the opportunity to compete to start. Like I just felt though it was time for that to be over. I learned as much as I could there. I did as much as I could there, and there was no more like on the rise there. I was stuck at my position that I was at.
For you, I mean, given that, I mean, how much was last year everything that you could possibly want a first year in a new program and a new team to go?
Yeah, it was everything. Like I imagined double digit sacks, but I ain't imagined 19 and a half leading the league in sacks. And it's just that like it goes to show that like you got the plans, but God has way bigger and better plans for you. So I just go trust God and look forward to going out there this week and getting his plans and my plans into motion.
Okay, next is Ed Encina.
Hey, Shaq, following up on Rick's question there, obviously those guys in the middle, the interior guys, Sue, Golston, Vita, they're getting a lot of push. They're getting to the quarterback. How much of it do you think it is the attention that you guys are getting, you and JPP on the edges, or is it a thing where these guys are maybe a little bit different this year, or maybe you guys are a little bit more cohesive as a unit in the defense? I mean, what would you attribute to those guys getting to the quarterback more often?
I just think it was just them, like, because I don't like literally last game I got a few chips, but it wasn't as much attention as like the last time I played the Panthers. So I think they just was working, beating their guys, beating their one-on-ones, and it is also we are a more cohesive unit. We do trust our assignments and make the plays while doing our assignments, and that's we communicate a lot better now as well too. But it was just most definitely them being playmakers making plays.
And playing in Denver for so many years, you could probably speak to, the whole philosophy of Denver having kind of a home field advantage with the altitude there. I mean, playing there as a home player and seeing teams come in, I mean, is that a factor? Tell me, how much have you seen maybe other teams affected by the altitude there?
So I most definitely heard as a factor for at least the first quarter until you get used to it. And I know my first time in Colorado State, we like did a workout conditioning the first day. I almost died out there the first day. But I know we've been working hard out here. We in shape, so it might be like a couple of drives like until we get used to it. But I like haven't experienced it as a pro coming in, and I'm excited just to go back. I mean, our energy should take care of that little bit of extra fatigue that's going to come.
Thanks, Shaq.
All right, next is going to be Kevin O'Donnell.
Hey, Shaq, Byron was just talking about he's able to have conversations on the sidelines now that there are no fans, conversations he never used to be able to have because it was so loud in stadiums. Are you picking up on things, hearing things on the bench, like picking up maybe on Tom Brady and just the emotions that he carries on the sidelines, and what does that do for the defense?
Yeah, I could see him. Sometimes I can hear him sometimes, and he just be really passionate out there. He be excited. He just motivating. And I mean, it's good. It's like easy to feed off of that when you see one of your top guys as passionate as that, all that high energy and motivating other guys. And it's like we got to go out there and do whatever we can to get them the ball so they can keep whatever they got going or get something going if they ain't got nothing going.
2 weeks into the season, I know it's early, but what have you learned about your defense so far?
I learned that we're really good at times, and there's times where we do laps for like the Carolina game. We took a lapse, fell off the second half of the game. So we can be potentially as good as the top defense in the league, but we got to keep our foot on the gas the whole entire game. We can't stop communicating. We can't lose leverage. We can't have them late mental errors and missed assignments. We got to be on our A game all game.
All right, I have time for a few more. Next is going to be Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Shaq, you've proven that you can rush from both sides of the line, even up the middle on occasion on a blitz. You got most of your sacks playing from the right side going against left tackles last year. This year you've played more on the left side. What's been the thinking behind Todd Bowles putting you on that side, and what's your comfortability in rushing primarily from the left side?
Oh, it wasn't Coach Bowles at all. It was just me and JPP. I honestly do prefer the left side better, like the side that I'm on now, because that's like I think my wrong arm, my right arm is my strong arm, so it helps me with my power moves a little bit better. And JP prefers the side that he's on now, so it actually worked out perfectly. Just last year, me and Carl, like when me and Carl was in Carl, like the side that I'm on now, so I go to the other side. But I have no preference, like in a game besides that's my strong arm. I could do pretty much all my same moves besides the long arm on both sides. But I like the side I'm on a lot better though.
And you guys are going to be wearing the all pewter uniforms for the first time, I guess, on Sunday. What's your take on that uniform combination?
Oh, it looks really good. I love them. I just need to make sure I got the right cleats to go with the cleats glove to match.
Thanks, Shaq.
All right, we're going to close out with a question from Arnie Stapleton.
Hey, Shaq, it's good seeing you again. I know you don't have any regrets about leaving Denver, but I'm wondering, how do you look back on your time with the Broncos? You had some pretty big ups with the Super Bowl 50. How do you look back on it?
Oh, I look back like all my time there was a blessing. Like I wouldn't be the player I am now without going there and being on practice squad. Like the path that I took was probably the best path for me and for my career. So I think it was all a great experience, great learning experience, and I'm just really appreciative that they decided to bring me in and kept me around after my first year on the practice squad, because my first year I was like I probably ain't make as many plays my first year, but they still believed in me, kept me around, put me on the practice squad, and yeah, that's all it took. And I took a big second year leap.
Do you ever, had you stayed around here, Chubb got hurt last year, Vaughn got hurt this year, you'd be starting. Do you ever ponder that, or do you not look back on the what if?
Oh, no, I most definitely don't think about that, and that's like, it's honestly pretty much like that's the only reason why they had me, because if one of them did get hurt, like they know they got a secure, comfortable backup that could come in and make some plays and be somewhat starter level or starter caliber player. But that's not the road that I wanted. And like it worked initially, but as I did become an older player, I did want to see if I could be a full-time starter in the league, and that just wasn't an option there or a possible role I could have.
Awesome. That's all for today. Thanks for taking the time, Shaq.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.